So today I wanted to talk about unrealistic expectations in this trading game. And what I realized is that what makes this harder than it needs to be, what makes the journey to profitability in trading harder than it actually needs to be, is just your expectations. Like you're expecting too much, especially if you come from maybe you saw somebody online, maybe you saw Happy FX or Jeffrey Benson flexing their lifestyle online. You're seeing, okay, these are some young niggas and they are pulling in all this money. They're making all this money from trading. And then I don't know, also some other young people, I don't know if anyone knows Trades by Sai. You see people like this and they're making a ton of money through trading, and you're thinking, wow, if he can make this amount of money, you as a young person, you should be able to start this and at least make a fraction of that. But that is unrealistic expectations, because even if you think you're not expecting much, maybe you're not expecting to start making I don't know, $10,000 per month. Maybe you're just expecting to start making $100 monthly, $200 monthly. But what you don't know is even that small goal is kind of unrealistic in your first 1 or 2 years of trading. And this is what frustrates people most of the time. So yeah, if you tell yourself, yeah, I'm gonna make this amount of money in this specific amount of time, that's where you've already messed up, because you really can't dictate how much money you're going to make and when, because the you're trying to predict a certain money amount based on circumstances that are kind of unpredictable. Sure, you can predict it based on your edge or based on your analysis and stuff like that, but you can't really predict the direction it will take to get it. Let's say you're expecting the market to sell, to drop to a particular level. You know it's going to drop, but you can't really tell how it will drop, whether it will drop in one candle or it will drop a little slowly, consolidate, drop a little bit, consolidate. So you can't really tell. So that is why your expectations in this trading game has to be controlled. So you might be expecting something specific to happen in your chart according to your analysis. That okay, price is gonna go here, then it's gonna turn, it's gonna start coming back down. And then as you're watching your chart and it doesn't do that, right? The thing is you have to do your analysis like you're supposed to. You do your analysis, but then also have it at the back of your mind that it's out of your control. Maybe your analysis may be correct, right? Like you're expecting price to go down to a certain point, and you might actually be correct. But what you don't know and you don't control is how it gets there. It might get there fast, and that is what most people are expecting, right? You're expecting, okay, price is gonna go here, and you want it to happen fast, just like that, start moving. But that is unrealistic expectation. Most of the time the market is not going to move that fast. It's just going to give you some slow, annoying movement, and because of that, like, that just kills the, I don't know, should I say it kills the fun in it, or it stops you from getting that quick dopamine that you were expecting to get from trading. So what really matters is actually just having a set of rules that you follow, and make sure that you follow it no matter what. So a form of unrealistic expectations is, let's say you get into a trade, you enter, you put your stop loss and your take profit, and before you got into that trade, the chart was looking so clean, like that was your A plus setup, like you've confirmed everything, right? It's looking so clean, it's looking like your previous trades that you've been taking in the past. And then Because of this, your expectations are very high. You've already calculated how much money you're going to make from that particular trade, and then you forget that you don't actually control the market. And then once that trade starts to move against you and eventually hits your stop loss, you're going to start feeling so bad from that loss, right? You're feeling so bad from that loss, and the reason you're feeling that level of negative the reason you're feeling that negative feeling is literally because of your expectation, not necessarily because maybe you lost money, or you not necessarily because you lost money or you hit stop loss or whatever. It was because of your expectations. It's kind of like your heart got broke, right? Your heart got broken because you were expecting um you're expecting things to go well with this particular girl, and people will date forever and live happily ever after. But then she tells you she don't want to do it again, and that crushes you because you've planned ahead of how life is going to be. So that's another example of having unrealistic expectations. And what you notice when you get rid of these expectations is that trading starts to feel a little bit boring, and you are no longer trades, should I say, when you hit stop loss, it doesn't really affect you as much. You've just accepted it. Even before you took the trade, you just accepted that it may not go to take profit, no matter how clean the setup looks. It's not always going to go to take profit, and you have to accept it. I personally, I even have it written down in my journal that I have a list of things that I read every morning before I start trading. And among the top three things, what I've written down there is I may lose today. Right? I've written it down there just as a reminder to remind myself, because what tends to happen is that you wake up in the morning feeling enthusiastic, like, okay, yeah, I've done my analysis, I know chart is going to this particular level, today is going to move there. So what I've noticed is that you wake up feeling enthusiastic that something specific is going to happen in the chart, but you don't really know, you cannot be sure. So that's just like a reminder I've written down in my journal as a reminder that I may lose today. So when the loss comes, I read it every morning, and when the loss comes, it doesn't affect me as much anymore. It doesn't affect me as much. So when you get rid of these unrealistic expectations, it's going to make you more humble. So when you take a loss, it's not an attack on your ego, or you're feeling like, damn, I'm a bad trader. I thought I've mastered this thing, but I've not actually mastered it. But when you remove those expectations, you're going to feel like nothing. Nothing is just going to affect you. Not that it won't affect you. If you take a loss, to affect you a little bit, but it's not like making you want to quit trading or something like that. But it's also going to open you up to being more objective, should I say. You're going to be able to see what's actually happening. Whereas before, because of your high expectations, you are stuck to a particular idea of what the chart or your currency pair. You are just stuck to that idea of what you want to do, and because it's not doing that, you're feeling devastated. But then now, with no expectations or limited expectations, if the chart is not doing what you want to do or what you expected it to do, you can spot it quickly, right? You can spot it instantly, and then you do your analysis again on what chart or what the price action wants to do, and then you take the trade going the opposite direction. Maybe you wanted to sell, now you know you're supposed to buy, and then you buy, and then you actually win. So that's one of the pros of having low expectations. So I think that's going to be for this video. I just wanted to get on the camera and talk about something I was thinking. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's going to be it. Oh. It go be.